will not see, not in the candy.
Nandi, give me the bell. Why is your face to the bell? How you can say so? Worry. I see you, worry sister. Good video. Oh, now let go you I see you. Sandy, I see you. Another one I see you. Worry sister, I sight you. Collect that bell from me. Go use that hitting face. Yes. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, everyone. Hey, Nandi, you want to sing for us this night. I greet you all. Thank you for joining me. Please let us pray with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. Then we will continue. Please, very important. Let's just pray this prayer with Onyendu Mazi Nnamdi Oku Kanu. Please, it's important. Let us pray.
ezi onye nwe anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ m ihe niile, Chukwu okike abịa ma bụ onye anyị na-efe na-agọzi aha nsọ ya, onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-achị, onye mmụọ na mmadụ na-erubere isi, onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ ọka aka. Ụbọchị ene ka anyị na-etu gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, mmalite na ọgwụgwụ, ndị gboo wee tụọ gị ebighị ebi. Onye nwe m, ụmụ gị wee gbakọọ n'ụwa niile iwe nara ozi ọma nke gị onwe gị n'ezi ha site n'ọnụ mmadụ dị ndụ na nke ebere dị ngọzi. Anyị wee na-asị na onweghị ihe ọbụla nke anyị onwe anyị bụ n'ihi na ọ bụ anụkpa ahụ sọsọ ka mmadụ dị ndụ bụ. Ofu ụbọchị anyị ga-anwụ, maka na okwu nsọ gị na-adịghị ma ruo mgbe ebighị ebi. N'ihi na okwu gị niile ga-abịarịrị na mmezu. Ọ bịa mere Biafra ga-eji wee bịa na mgbe nke anyị. Anyị wee na-akpọkụ gị wee na-arịọ gị na-asị, lekwa ude nke anyị na-asụ n'akwa nke anyị na-ebe ka o metụta gị n'obi. Onye nwe m na Chineke nna nke igwe, biko dịka isi wee napụta ụmụ gị n'ọbụ n'Ijipt gotu wee wezuga ụmụ gị bụ ndị Biafra mgbodo ekwensu bụ zuu nke mmadụ dị ndụ karị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma, na-asị gị n'ime ọnọdụ anyị na anyị ga-ekele ha nsọ gị, wee nye gị nsọpụrụ n'ụtụ na-eji mma mgbe niile. N'ihi na anyị enweghị chi ọzọ ewezuga gị, anyị nwe anyị anaghị efe arụsị. Ọ ga mere iji wee na-agọzi nzọmụkwụ anyị niile. Ọ bụ ya mere IPOB ji wee gbaa mgbọrọgwụ n'ụwa niile. Anyị anaghị atụ egwu mmadụ dị ndụ. Anyị wee na-eto gị eze ebube dị ngọzi, sị gị biko gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka. Ọ bụ naanị gị bụ onye anyị refe nwanyị akpụ isi ala nye ka i wee napụta ndị gị n'ọbụ nke ekwensu. Anyị wee na-enye gị ofe na nsọpụrụ na ija mma, na-asị lekwa ka ndị iro anyị niile ka kasisi wee baa ha ọnụ, ha wee daa hapụghị ikunye ọzọ. Obodo ekwensu bụ zu ala nwekwa n'iyi eze ebube dị ngọzi. Anya ọnwa anyị bụ ụmụ gị wee na-akpọkọ ha nsọ gị, na-asị na enweghị chi ọzọ egwezuga gị. Anyị wee na-aja gị mma wee na-eto gị, na-asị onye kere ihe niile kere eke mana onwe onye kere anyị, na n'otuto niile na nsọpụrụ niile na ịja mma niile site n'ebighị ebi mara onye bụ ka a na-arịọ gị. Ise ise ise.
Thank you. Worry sister, thank you so much. Love you to the bones, my precious sister. Thank you. Mimi Amaka, thank you for coming in. Thank you so much. Izuchuku, I see you also. William Kevin, I see you from Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Brethren, I am going to give you people sense tonight. While we play some of the updates that we have, I will give you all sense. Please come close and let me talk to you. There is nothing that will change the plan of Chukwu Okike Abiama towards Biafrans. Nothing. The plan of heaven towards you, Biafran, nothing will change it. The victory for Biafra have been guaranteed even before the zoo started their propaganda and all their evil they are doing against our leaders. There is nothing. Look, it is not by power, it is not by might, but by the Spirit of the living God. If they told you that somebody like Donald Trump would rise up at this point in time and begin to destabilize all the institutions in this world, including the European institution, from America institution, the evil institution in America, the democratic institution, the swampy, when Donald Trump said he's going to clear the swamp of all those evil institutions in America. That is a term they use. If I recollect it, I will remind you, I will say it later. He said he will drain the swamp of all those that were in charge, controlling the affairs and destroying the life of Americans. And after draining the swamp in America, he has also started to expose the swamp in Europe. And while he's exposing the swamp in Europe, he's trying to take care of the swamp in Africa. And his target in Africa is going to start from Nigeria, where Biafra is concerned, and we will be liberated. If you were told, you won't believe it, because the level of conviction they had that Donald Trump will never, ever be president. If you ask Hillary Clinton, he will tell you, never go over their dead body. If you ask Obama, he will say, over their dead body. All of them, they all wrote him off. Just the same way they have written Mazi Nnamdi Kanu off. Just the same way they have written Biafra off. But I want you to know, it is God Almighty that promised us. It is God Almighty that promised that Donald Trump will be. And that's why Donald Trump is there. The same God Almighty is the one that promised us Biafra. And as long as he is the one that promised us, it is not by power, it is not by might, He will get it done. He knows how to get the job done. Those of us that are available now, we must not think that because you are operating at a certain level that without you nothing can be done. It's a lie, oh. Without you, what God has said he will do it. That's why you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu telling you that if he is the problem, that Chukwu Kabiama should unalive him. That's why he was saying it, because he knew that Chukwu Kabiama have already promised that Biafra must come. Do you know when our prime minister used to tell us, and that is our topic tonight, that you will sleep in Nigeria and wake up in Biafra? It is a sure banker. It is a sure banker, very sure odd. There's no way anything can stop it from happening. So it will not happen by reason of the amount of broadcast I do or how I try to convince you. The only thing that will happen to you is that those of you that refuse to listen to me while I am exasperating my energy, trying to convince you and tell you that this is the truth or you must believe it, and you refuse to believe it, I don't lose. You are the one that will lose. Because anyone that does not believe, you will never see the kingdom of God, which is Biafra. You can't see it. I'm telling you. So that is why those of you that have believed already, don't let anything discourage you. Do not look back. The warning that came to the wife of Lot, do not look back. Because if you look back, you will turn into a pillar of salt. Because of the pleasures of this life and many other things, she looked back. She became an example. May you not be a scapegoat. May you not be a scapegoat. Believe me, everything you see happening in Nigeria today, it is just child's play. The worst is yet to happen. And it will be more easier for them if they allow the people of God go. If you do not know, go and read the book of Exodus. Pharaoh hardened his heart. It's happening. It's a replica. It's a typography. It's a how do you call it? It's a type of a reoccurrence. The same thing that happened before. It's the same type of thing that happened in the days of old. It's happening again. It's happening again. And we're seeing it in our contemporary time, playing out. You know, those pictures you saw, they are now becoming reality. You may not see the sea turning to blood. You may not see frogs and all those things coming out and all those things. But I'm telling you, you may even see the ones that are worse than that happening. Because it is only a fool that will see what is happening now and not see the finger of God in it. The redemption that is coming for Biafrans and the redemption coming for Christians in Nigeria today, it is only a fool I will say this is not God working. They are writing. They thought they could just wipe out Christianity the way they wiped it out in the days of old, the way they took over the whole of Europe, the way they took over the whole of Asia, the way they took over the whole of Turkey, Constantinople. They took over all those places. All those places. Egypt was a Christian nation before. And they are thinking they can repeat it. There will be a replica of it again in our time. But I'm telling you, in Biafra, their boss don't stop. Their boss don't stop. So do not just let anything sway you. If you believe in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you believe in the disciple man Simon Ekpa, stand gidigbam gidigbam. Stand gidigbam gidigbam. I am happy that the tough men of our angels are intact. I am happy that our men are intact. I'm very happy. You know, when, you know, the only thing that will make you know that the zoo is just a propaganda machine and lies. You know, when they were lying to you that Gentle, the Yahoo, is gone. What is his name? Our angel makeup is gone and all those things. And when I confirm that these guys are just very much alive and well and strong in their own capacity, Thank you, Mandy dear. Thank you so much. I cite you. Thank you so much. So when I cited, I knew that they were still intact. I said, God is preparing his men. Thank you so much, Mandy. Ise. Thank you so much, darling. Thank you. God is preparing his men. He's preparing us. So don't worry. Don't worry. Mazin Namdekado told you is a miracle. Watch out for it. Remember, the first will be the last, and the last will be the first. Do not be among those that will be the last. Eh? Always try and make sure you maintain your position. There was a message that came from our leader one time. He said, maintain your position. Maintain your position. But many have swayed. Many have fallen away. Many precious and beloved ones have fallen away. But I beg you, don't fall away. You see Nigeria, Nigeria have no enduring future. Nigeria have no enduring future. In fact, the future of Nigeria is gone, bleak. Tinubu is going to be the last president. Tinubu, the Jaga bandit, is going to be the last president. I'm telling you. I'm going to bring you a video. Even if it is a caricature or is a joke, those people, they're going to get serious very soon. And the more they get serious, the better for us. Because as they get serious, the man that have the judgment rod will pass judgment on them. Donald J. Trump, he has the rod of judgment. He will pass judgment on all of them. All of them. I saw this video from Pastor Ezekiel. The man is already going underground and is praying and is wailing. He's praying and he's kaboshing and he's calling upon heaven and calling upon God to intervene. And he's crying out and saying, Donald Trump, do not delay. And I want him to know that Donald Trump will come just at the right time. The time that he is desperately needed to come. He will come. And I'm telling you, the end of our enemies is here. Those that mocked us, those that thought they can wipe off our existence, those that were mocking our God, their days of judgment is here. Their days of judgment is here. Just listen first to Reverend Ezekiel, and then I will show you other videos.
My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore. Because these people, they are finished with my Facebook account. They block it the way they did to you. Come quickly. You are not going to save us alone as Christians. My fellow brothers, Muslims, I beg, save Nigeria. My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore. Because these people, they are finished with my Facebook account. They block it the way they did to you. Come quickly. You are not going to save us alone as Christians. My fellow brothers, Muslims, I beg, save Nigeria.
Do you see that the man is crying and also crying on behalf of some ignorant Muslims that doesn't know that we don't hate them? The man is crying and also calling on Donald Trump to come and save his Muslim brothers because they are also victims in this onslaught. You know, but when these Muslim brothers is crying for, when opportunity comes for them to speak, they will be telling you, there is no Christian genocide. They are also killing Muslims. Are you following? But you see the love in the heart of this man. The same love Biafra have for Nigerians. Telling them, look, if we do not end this siege and end this marriage now, it will be catastrophic. End it now to save lives. They catch Mazin Namdekan. They instigated the propaganda to catch our prime minister. And everything is being watered down now, and God is having his way. I say everything is being watered down now. The truth is being revealed now, and God is having his way. God is having his way. So you see him crying, also crying to help the Muslims. He is not self-centered. He is concerned about life. What we are talking about is life, not about you, your own religion or whatever. It is the life of people that he's talking about.
My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore.
If you delay, you may not hear my voice anymore. Because even Facebook have joined them. Facebook blocked the account of this man. The same thing they did to Donald Trump. Facebook blocked his account. Tell me, what is this man saying that is not true that will make Mark Zuckerberg to block his account? Just tell me. If it is not for Twitter that God raised people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump in this end time, I'm telling you, we would have all been gone. They would just destroy every one of us. We're all gone. You see, but God will always leave for himself a remnant. He will always leave a remnant. He will always leave a remnant. He will always leave a remnant. Just one more time.
My message to President Donald Trump is please don't relent. Come quickly before they finish us. If you delay, you will not hear my voice anymore. Because these people, they are finished with my Facebook account. They block it the way they did to you. Come quickly. You are not going to save us alone as Christians. My fellow brothers, Muslims, I beg, save Nigeria.
And the only way to save Nigeria is if Nigeria heed to the voice of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump have told them, you must remove. Thank you, Helen Peters. It's good to cite you again, precious one. You must remove Islamic law from your constitution. You must remove it. Sharia, because Nigeria is a secular state, according to them. But you know they will not remove it. You know why I know they will not remove it? And they know. They are now challenging Donald Trump. I saw a video, and it was like a caricature video. Let me bring it. Let me bring that video. They gathered in their room, in their little much room, with their news agencies. That you know, it is laughable, but this is exactly what they mean. You understand? You know, to them, you shouldn't complain. They will just come, they will unalive you. You don't need to complain. Don't you dare complain. You know, because they believe that Britain have already given them Nigeria. So how dare you complain when they are unaliving you? You shouldn't complain. You shouldn't complain. Let me show you this video. You will wonder, say, what is wrong with these people? I'm telling you, that's the way they roll. That's just how they roll. Come and hear them. Where is that video? Hear them. Okay, let's see. No. Okay.
Nation. With the benefit of hindsight, this does not come as a surprise. Past American governments had once announced that Nigeria would break by 2015. When that did not happen after 10 years, they are now taking deliberate steps to make it happen. It seems like the plot they are working on is to instigate a religious crisis in the country by provoking the Muslim population.
These are the terrorist sympathizers who gathered in one room as if they did not see all the reasons that Donald J. Trump have given, as if they did not see the visiting U.S. representative, as if they do not know that there are IDP camps where Christians are, as if they did not know that in Benue State alone, there are over 600,000 IDP people in IDP camp, over 600,000 Christians in IDP, as if these bastards, they don't know. Now what they are doing is that they are turning to a propaganda that they have said it before. And let us play it. Let's listen to them. I have not even listened to all of it. It's about 7 minutes. Let's play it to the end so that maybe I will put a link up here. If there's anybody that wants to say something, you say. But my point tonight is it's about to go down. the promise of the Father, the promise of Chukwokika Abiyama, it's about to go down. The enemy of righteousness, the enemy of the land of the rising sun is about to go down. Get ready. Sleeping in Nigeria and waking up in Biafra, promised by our Prime Minister, it's about to go down.
Nation. With the benefit of hindsight, this does not come as a surprise. Past American governments had once announced that Nigeria would break by 2015. When that did not happen after 10 years, they are now taking deliberate steps to make it happen. It seems like the plot they are working on is to instigate a religious crisis in the country by provoking the Muslim population. Recently, the US President Donald Trump made an accusation that there was a Christian genocide going on in Nigeria, even confirming that churches were being burned and Christians killed virtually every day. He then started rolling out conditions to be met by the Nigerian government and sanctions to be considered on government, individuals, and groups. He went on to list Nigeria yet again as a country of special concern. Among the conditions he rolled out was that the Sharia system was to be abolished in the northern states and blasphemy laws be scrapped. Then, last week, a group of Nigerians living in the US, led by one Dr. Ebenezer Obadere, senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, visited the US Congress masquerading as so-called experts on Nigerian affairs.
Are you hearing them? When the important people start talking, all these rats will be smoked out from their holes. You remember that letter I read yesterday? The post I read yesterday from that a senior member. I told you he's a very high class, a senior person. When people of what? People of timber and caliber, when they come out and they lend their voices, you see the moles, you see all these terrorist sympathizers, you see all these terrorist sponsors, they have now come out from their hole. You remember that Ebenezer Olatunde? You see Olatunde, yes, that one I read yesterday. They are now quoting him because they know that the people that matters are now talking. The people that matter, the people that when they talk, the world will know that this thing is not a joke. The people are now talking. The people that when they speak, the world will say, this thing, at least their own brother is in power. They would have gotten a position and kept quiet, but they are now speaking. They are now complaining that they said they should remove Sharia law and remove blasphemy law. To them, blasphemy law and Sharia law should be in the constitution of a secular state. The end of the road for Nigeria. Buckle up. It's about to go down.
Genocide going on in Nigeria, even confirming that churches were being burned and Christians killed virtually every day. He then started rolling out conditions to be met by the Nigerian government and sanctions to be considered on government, individuals, and groups. He went on to list Nigeria yet again as a country of special concern. Among the conditions he rolled out was that the Sharia system was to be abolished in the northern states and blasphemy laws be scrapped. Then, last week, a group of Nigerians living in the US, led by one Dr. Ebenezer Obadere, senior fellow at the Council on Foreign Relations, visited the US Congress masquerading as so-called experts on Nigerian affairs to request the Congress to make the US government demand that the Nigerian government put pressure on the northern states to abolish the Sharia system and the Hizbah. At this juncture, we would like to make the following observations. One, even the British colonialists who conquered our land by force of arms could not altogether get rid of the Sharia system. Therefore, no foreign power can do it now, after more than 60 years of independence. Two, the Sharia system is an integral part of our constitution, which, in recognition of everybody's right to religious freedom, provided for three legal systems, namely the British common law, the Sharia personal law, and the customary law. Three, moreover, the constitution allowed for concurrent powers that gives states the power to make laws affecting any of the concurrent list, of which enacting Sharia law is a part of. 4. Unless the constitution of our country and its democratic federalism is going to be trampled on, the plot to force the federal government to pressure state governments to abolish the Sharia system and Hizbah is not wise. 5. The Sharia system has never been imposed on any non-Muslims in Nigeria. 6. The blasphemy law is not.
And when they say it has never been imposed on any non-Muslim in Nigeria, it's a lie. But hope you people saw the Igbo brother that seized the shop. He's the only one that came out first to speak. You saw it, and it was in the news. Thank God, Very Dark Man made it popular. And because Very Dark Man made it popular, they quickly returned the guy's property to him. Had it been Very Dark Man, they don't make it popular. I'm telling you, that guy's property is gone. It's gone. Tell me, is Nigeria not supposed to be a secular state? Even in Kano, in Kano, Sharia law must be abolished. Except they don't want to be Nigerian again. Because there must be one law governing everybody. So that is why the end of the road is now. You can't tell me that there will be Sharia law in Kano, then there will be Sharia law in Kaduna, there will be Sharia law in Sokoto, then there will be Sharia law in Kogi, and Kwara, and then you come to Lagos, no Sharia law. But the national resources is being shared to all these places, and they still call that place Nigeria. Inside Nigeria. No, it cannot happen. That is why this is a very serious matter. I love the fact that they presented it as an option, and it is an option that they cannot avoid. That is when you say you made them a deal that they cannot avoid. So we are holding them in their courtroom. It is either you end it or you go your own way. Let's hear what they said here. Maybe eventually they may have decided to go their own way. I don't know, but let's listen to them. Let's listen to them.
A religious law, but a law enacted by respective state assemblies in order to preserve peace and harmony. 7. The Sharia system has no connection whatsoever with the different types of insecurity issues happening in Nigeria. 8. The Hizbah institution has never engaged in any type of arrest. It is an unarmed organization concerned only with the enforcement of Sharia moral laws within the ambit of the national law. Therefore, on behalf of all the 40 Islamic organizations that form the Zamfara State Muslims League, we hereby state the following. 1. We in Zamfara State are more than 99% Muslims. We were the first to implement the Sharia system in 1999. We want all and sundry to know that we are comfortable with the system and we will never allow it to be tampered with. 2. The request of Dr. Obadere is not based on any expertise, but on biasness and Islamophobia. 3. The U.S. has...
And whenever they talk, you talk about them minding their business and not using their business to put people's lives in danger. Whenever you mention how they are killing people in the name of their religion, they will tell you it is Islamophobia. 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 Ndara, mad people. Islamophobia bukwa ununeba.
2. The request of Dr. Obadere is not based on any expertise, but on biasness and Islamophobia. 3. The U.S. has no business meddling in the international affairs of our country, or act as a custodian of a certain religion, or start a new crusade against Islam, with Nigeria as its first victim. 4. We emphatically affirm that Muslims in Nigeria will not stand by and look while a foreign power dismantles the Sharia system just to make some anti-Islamic Christians happy. We know that America has been sponsoring Zionist terrorism in Palestine and the genocide of Muslims. We are also ready to pay the price the Palestinians are paying if America should decide to come to Nigeria to dismantle Sharia. 5. We are calling on President Bola Tinubu to treat carefully. He should remember that he rose to power on the goodwill of Sharia-loving Muslim population of this country. 6. We also call on Muslim representatives in the Senate and the House of Representatives never to allow themselves to be used for the achievement of crooked objectives detrimental to the interests of those they represent. 7. We call on our governors and members of the respective houses of assemblies not to relent or give in on this matter. They must stand firm and ensure our freedoms in a sovereign Nigeria. We are also using this medium to appeal to our northern governors, especially the Sharia compliant states, to intensify efforts in protecting, safeguarding, and promoting the Sharia legal system in their respective states. 8. It is time for our traditional rulers to stand up and talk. The labor of our leaders past shall never be in vain. 9. Our ulama and imams must stand up and talk. Imams must convey our message of resistance on all pulpits. Sharia implementation is our religious right, which we are entitled to. We will never accept intervention on how to practice our religion from any quarter. 10. Finally, we call on all Muslims in Nigeria to be ready to defend our religion and the Sharia system, whatever it takes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allahu Akbar. Are you hearing them? Are you hearing them? Are you hearing them? As they finish reading it, they shout the same slogan. As they finish reading that, they shout the same slogan they shout when they are slitting people's throats. Allahu Akbar. I will be in the same country with these murderers. Me, Vam Raphael, and Shimon, my brother, and Helen Peters, Warren's sister, all of us, Martin Namdekan, Simon Ekpa, we will be in the same country with these people. I spit on all of your faces. Buffoons. You will cry us a river. You will cry. The end of the road. The end of the road. I want you to know, this is not a new something. Do you know that it is very good that it is about to be nipped on the bud? Let me show you, let's show you what history, how this thing happened in history, how they were able to do these things in other parts of the world. Thank you, Plan B. Plan B said Tinubu is playing politics with this Sharia law of a thing. Yes, but the thing will swallow Tinubu. It will swallow Tinubu. In fact, there is a prophetic message I will bring. I will show you all now. Tinubu may not survive until January ending. Tinubu might, be gone. And they will have a replica of him, the way they did to Buhari. I will bring you that prophecy. Already it has been prophesied, and it's not far from happening, because you can already see what Tinubu's son is doing and all that. They will work with that. They will do it. France will mold another Tinubu, just the way UK molded another Buhari. I'm telling you, France, they already have a prototype of Tinubu that will replace Tinubu immediately. Hand they shake like they shake. Baba we nowhere. They shatter me local. The hand no go shake again. I'm telling you, you are going to see a brand new Tinubu when this one die. Very quickly, you will see it. You will see it. But first and foremost, let's get this ones out of the way. I will bring you that prophecy, and I know that man actually that made that prophecy always says things that actually comes to pass. Actually, but even though I don't pay attention to some of these, their prophecies.
Take over entire city.
They did it with Buhari. They will also do it with Tinubu, because the only figure, the only mannequin that Macron will work with is Tinubu. Tinubu is the only mannequin that Macron would work with, and they will do anything to keep Tinubu there to make sure they play that game. Okay, listen to this white man as he gives the history of how these things have worked from time and time ago in history.
So they say that by 2030, there will be a majority Muslim population in Europe, and they'll just flat out vote in Sharia law. And it won't just be no-go zones where they take over entire neighborhoods in Paris or around Belgium and London. No, they'll
Sharia law is coming to take over Europe very soon. Very soon, Sharia law. Watch out. That's why the only hope of the black race, the only hope, the major hope of humanity is the United States of America and Biafra.
So they say that by 2030, there will be a majority Muslim population in Europe, and they'll just flat out vote in Sharia law. And it won't just be no-go zones where they take over entire neighborhoods in Paris or around Belgium and London. No, they'll take over entire cities. And people forget, Egypt was completely Christian for 6 centuries. It's not anymore. All of North Africa was completely Christian for 6 centuries. It's not anymore. All of Turkey, all 7 churches mentioned in the book of Revelation were all in Turkey. And they were all taken over by the Muslim Turks. Constantinople was the largest Christian city in the world, and the largest Christian church in the world for hundreds of years was the Hagia Sophia, and it got turned into a mosque, and so they want to do the same thing with the Vatican. And recently they allowed Muslim prayers in the Vatican, so we see that's headed in that direction.
Wow.
And the tremendous number.
They allow Muslim prayers in the Vatican. they are bringing in Islamic into Vatican.
Muslim prayers in the Vatican. So we see that's headed in that direction.
Wow.
And the tremendous number of burning of churches in Europe.
And if you talk about this,
Islamic immigration.
Are you hearing that? So wait for it. It is loading. It is going to be happening. And then this man had this to say. Let's hear this one very quickly.
This is about a...
Let's hear this. This one is important also. I wanted to hear some of this. Hold on, don't go anywhere. I'll bring you the prophecy that will bring a new Tinubu. It will bring a new Tinubu.
This is about a jihadist movement, point blank. This is not a tribal conflict by any stretch. This is a spiritual, undertoned, massive confrontation between good and evil. We condemn the media propaganda that waged war against the Fulani, supported by the Yoruba, Igbo, and their bigotry allies in the Middle Belt. This is a big deal because the civil war that they had previously between the Fulani tribe and the Biafra, organization, was against the Igbo Christians. The Yoruba tribe, has a really, really big influence in the media, perpetuating what they're deeming propaganda. There's some big deals with this. Number 3, they were aware of plots by minority ethnic groups in the Middle Belt to attack Fulani settlements. Number 4, that we have asked all Fulani across the West Africa to raise money and arms to prosecute the oncoming war. Okay, let that sit for just a second. We call on all Fulanis to prepare for this holy war.
They are preparing for a holy war. Remember, Gumi is not backing down. Gumi have always been insisting that these men, these bandits, these terrorists, that they must negotiate with them. At a point, he went there, he told them that you people are our hope, you are our army, you are our men. And that they should negotiate with you. The same Gumi that said, remember Gumi said, go and train Igbo youths, arm them, and they will wipe out IPOB. Gumi solicited for wiping out IPOB, but the same Gumi is insisting that amnesty must be given to terrorists, but train Igbo youths to wipe out IPOB. Do you remember? Look, in the coming days, we are going to be very, very brutal and serious. Anyone in Biafra land that does not align with the system America has suggested, anyone that tilts towards Sharia, Hope Uzodimma, Soludo, we are going to teach them a lesson they will never forget in a hurry. And we must do that as a matter of principle and as a matter of urgency. Anyone in Biafra land that does not align with the orders and the instruction that is coming from Washington to Tinubu, Sharia law must be removed. Anyone supporting Nigeria, playing along with all these Sharia mongers, we will first of all ban them from coming to Biafra land. I saw a picture of Ojus Okalu removing shoe and entering into mosque and hugging all those imam and all of them. Ojus Okalu must be extradited away from our land and let him remain. Ojus Okalu must remain in Sokoto. Remain with the Sharia law. We must tell them that, look, as far as Biafra is concerned, Biafra is alien. And anyone going on the streets of Biafra, teaching our people Sharia or any of these things, and you go see Hana Biafra land be a holy land. This is no longer a joking matter. It's no longer a joking matter. They are preparing their men to prepare them for war. Bandits and terrorists. And they have equipped Nigerian army and equipped our governors to wipe out our young boys that are not even armed. Do you understand? So this is not a joking matter. So going forward, we are going to be, that is why, please, please and please, if you are not yet in the 100 men, oh my God, you should know what is coming. Oh. If you are not yet in the 100 men, honestly, you don't understand the project we have on our hand. If you are not yet on the 100 men. Now, when I say 100 men, 100 men is the name we call the group. We can be up to 10,000 in that group. It doesn't matter. Even when we arrive up to 10,000 in that group, we still call it 100 men because that is the name Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave it. That is the name our Prime Minister gave it. And we'll keep calling it 100 men. Even when we surpass 100, 300, 400, 500, 1,000, we'll still maintain that name, 100 men. We know what we mean. Even David had his 100 men. So we need that. Oh my God. This we don't know. We need to be ready. We just need to be ready. We must be ready. We must be ready. Every part of Biafra land, we will be able to secure them with drones everywhere. Anybody, if we identify you to be a part of this Sharia monger, and if I identify you to be a Sharia monger, I bet you I make you many, many things. I make you many, many things. Jokes apart, I make you many, many things. So you cannot come here. Let's listen to it from the top again. It's just about 1 minute and 50 seconds.
This is about a jihadist movement, point blank. This is not a tribal conflict by any stretch. This is a spiritual, undertoned, massive confrontation between good and evil. We condemn the media propaganda that waged war against the Fulani, supported by the Yoruba, Igbo, and their bigotry allies in the Middle Belt. This is a big deal because the civil war that they had previously between the Fulani tribe and the Biafra, organization, was against the Igbo Christians. The Yoruba tribe, has a really, really big influence in the media, perpetuating what they're deeming.
The Yoruba tribe had a very big influence in the media. All these things are the things that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was telling every one of you. Yoruba got a media. Yoruba, do you remember? The war between the Biafrans and the Fulani, the Biafra war was between the Biafrans and the Fulani, and Yoruba got a media supported them with their influence in the media. That's what this white man is saying here.
Propaganda. There's some big deals with this. Number 3, they were aware of plots by minority ethnic groups in the Middle Belt to attack Fulani settlements. Number 4, that we have asked all Fulani across the West Africa to raise money and arms to prosecute the oncoming war. Okay, let that sit for just a second. We call on all Fulanis to prepare for this holy war. There is no going back. All over the world, big deal, that's where it involves everyone, Nigeria is the only country given to Fulani by God. This is absolutely not a farmer-herder conflict that's going on. Everyone likes to state that that's the case.
Are you hearing it? Nigeria is the only country given to Fulani, and this white man is telling you this is not a farmers herders clash, as they are always saying. This is war. They are coming to fight because they want to take over the whole of Nigeria. He's reminding you this is not a farmers herders clash like they keep using.
It involves everyone. Nigeria is the only country given to Fulani by God. This is absolutely not a farmer-herder conflict that's going on. Everyone likes to state that that's the case. There's too much surmounting evidence that there's no fathomable possibility that you can make a solid argument with evidentiary backup for that fact.
Have you heard that? So much evidence. Too many evidence.
They say that.
Too many. Listen to this man again, this one. I just want to establish that this war and this fight is against you, Ndibo. And that's why when you hear this next prophecy, after this one, you will buckle up and know that these people have a lot under their sleeves. And they are coming. So they are coming.
Igbos in Nigeria, 73% said sometimes or always they were treated unfairly by the government. This is last year. This is the highest rate of any ethnic group surveyed in Africa. In their view, they are sometimes or always treated unfairly by the government.
So it's the issue of injustice?
It is a deep grievance, and it's a disconnect from the Nigeria Project, as was mentioned earlier. And I mentioned that number just to underscore the underlying grievance that has to be addressed. So amnesty is potentially part of a package, but the disconnect has to be addressed, and the Southeast is a core pillar of the Nigeria Project. It comes back to the discussion of its importance. So all of these issues that are being discussed are inherently political. They're being seen through a political lens. For example, infrastructure, development. The grievance is you have a very productive region that is exporting not just to Nigeria, but internationally. You have, I think, Imo and Anambra are number 4 and number 6 for GDP in Nigeria. And that was in 2021, which was a very violent year. So even amidst the violence, three of the 5 states in Southeast are in the top 12 for GDP per capita. Yet there's no seaport. The bridges are not good. The roads are not good. So it is a development and infrastructure issue, but it's seen through a political lens, as a political grievance. The same with security, which is you have significant deployment of security forces, yet the perception is the DPOs are not from Southeast. Many of the officers are not from Southeast. They are not necessarily well-versed in the local context. And so they're not performing the role of community security in a way that they or other communities would expect. So that's a security issue, yes, but it's also perceived through a political lens. And it's the same with federal appointments and involvement in governance. So these are development, these are policy, these are economic issues, but they're seen through a broader political lens that they're not being kind of fairly adjudicated. And I think that's really important to underscore. So amnesty as part of a package may be a solution, but the underlying grievances have to be addressed with an understanding of the political perception, how the infrastructure problems, how the economic problems, how the security issues are perceived politically, and what it means to have a more representative involvement in those efforts from a Southeast perspective. Yes, it has to be a multi-stakeholder approach. The sensitive issues have to be addressed, and there needs to be involvement of the key stakeholders as this initiative is doing. That being said, in contexts like this, you might not move everybody over. You might not convince everybody. But where you make a serious effort and where you provide legitimate avenues, you will see a significant reduction in popular grievance that draws down support for extremism and makes it very difficult to operate. So a multi-stakeholder approach doesn't immediately solve all the problems, but it changes the trajectory, and it moves a lot of the public into using or trying to use the legitimate mechanisms again, as opposed to staying on the sidelines or even supporting extremist activity. So it's where you need to start, and it's the direction that you need to go.
Thank you. All right, now come and listen to this preacher, this violent preacher.
Plato.
This man is saying it, but although he's figurative in his speech, but you can figure out what he's trying to say. And from January, things will be tough, according to him. Let's hear it.
Pray against 18th January. If Nigeria, Plateau, Lagos did not divide, to God be the glory. 18th, all this January, December, nothing happened. The way the other one die, then cover them. Now, so they humiliate this one, take them, they won't cover them. The Northerners expose everything. I talk in parable. One die, then cover them. Now, so they humiliate this one, take them, they won't cover them. The Northerners expose everything. I talk in parable. The way the other one die, then cover them. Now, so they humiliate this one, take them, they won't cover them. The Northerners expose everything. I talk in parable. The way the other one die, then cover them. Now, so they humiliate this one, take them, they won't cover them. The Northerners expose everything. I talk in parable. You ask yourself, everything about my life, I prepared it. Why am I building here, buying rice? Anything I talk, sir. Men of God watching me are numerous. They are waiting to hear. No. It is they don't know me in a lie. They know me. I'm the only man in the whole. If you say you are a pastor, and God did not reveal for you what will happen in your country, I'm the only man that said the president nowhere to be found. "31st night." Telling you that after they will say this, they will say, and they will bring him, and after they will say he travel, and they will say, hey, yeah.
Hold on, let me see the comments. Our brother said, but if you remove Biafrans from other states of Nigeria Federation, their GDP will fall below the GDP of Southeast. Of course, that's why you will see what will happen. There will be these exodus. You're going to see a mass exodus. By the time we remove everything, if Biafra is removed from the north, Biafra is removed from the west, Biafra is removed from the south, everything that will be left will be skeleton. Skeleton. Nigeria is gone. This thing would have happened since if we listened to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu since and left them. It would have been much easier for us now if all of them listened to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu earlier and left them. Anyway, let me not be distracted. Let's listen to this one that is talking.
What will happen this January? I have a map. Everything is God showed like this in my hand. That's when I look at some things, I will laugh. I will laugh. Have you asked yourself, since Rita Bai slowed down in prophecy, have you been hearing again? That first the people say, the Lord say, the Lord say, the Lord say. But this 31st night, I will speak to you, the Lord say.
Number 6, nowhere to be found. I said, Nigeria, Nigeria, Nigeria. I laugh. I see the man being elected, running away from the reason of his election. And many couldn't find him.
There are many things. This kidnapping SS was prophesied long before now.
Kidnapping will increase excessively. The rate of kidnapping I saw is very high. So be careful the way you go.
I will tell you everything how things will happen on the 18th and 21st January, what will happen. How this insurgent security will end. How all these kidnapping, you will not hear it again. Kidnapping, ba? No. No. They know what they are doing. Very soon now you will see all these governments, military people buying big car, military people buying no more big car. All these things will, all this. I told you, all these things, all your foodstuffs where you go up, na lie, everything. I told you long ago. I will tell you everything. By March, they will say, okay. They will talk some more. They will do this thing, a lot of things. I will tell you everything at the first night. I will tell you after the election, 2027, 2028, 2029, and I will not tell you that word, Biafra will come through the Westerners. That is when you will see a written agreement between the leader and Nnamdi Kanu. This thing is in written. All this is happening. You see this thing back? All this you see? Sokoto prison, this is a planned deal. Then to cover up, not to jail me, to cover up, not to intimidate me, to cover up, not to give to the Northerners again. Now, let's all fight for everyone to stay state, country. And the same we will be deceived. They will say, go. We will now raise fight again. They will face us. Then they will now share the Westerners. I will tell you you see, that's why you see, do you see me move? When you see people are talking, I'll be laughing you.
Well, I don't quite understand so much what he's saying. Your 31st night, though I don't pay attention to everything they say, but all I know is that all this game will come to an end. The restoration of Biafra is the big deal. It's about to go down. That's all I have to tell you. It's about to go down. The zoo have reached the climax. I'm here to climax. The zoo have reached the climax. It's about to go down completely. And there's nothing that will save Nigeria from collapse. Nothing. Nothing will save Nigeria from collapse. It's about to go down. And I love the fact that even Arise News is reporting this congressman visit to Nigeria and to Benue. And do you know that the people in Plateau are calling him? They said, what you saw in Benue is small. You need to come over to Plateau. You need to come over to Plateau to see. Let me put the link. If there's anyone that wants to join this program, you can come in through the link. Hold on, guys. Let me see. Okay. You can come in through the link while I play this Arise News. Okay. I've put the link on the comment section. You can come in. Let's listen to Njine Kaokpe on Arise News. What they had to say about the visit of Raleigh Mall. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on.
U.S. Representative Riley Moore, who is in Nigeria on a fact-finding mission, has shared harrowing accounts from Christian internally displaced persons in Benue State following his visit to IDP camps in the north-central state. Congressman Moore, in a post on X, documented testimonies of extreme violence that has displaced over 600,000 Christians in Benue State alone. He stated that he met dozens of Christians who were driven from their homes and that they told harrowing stories that would remain with him for the rest of his life. And I'll read Riley Moore's post on X in part. He wrote, "One woman was forced to watch as they killed her husband and 5 children. She and her unborn child barely escaped. Another woman's family was murdered in front of her and her baby was ripped from her womb. One man's family was hacked to death in front of his eyes and his arm was permanently mangled. There are more than 600,000 Christians in IDP camps in Benue State alone. These Christians should be able to live in their ancestral homeland without fear of genocidal Fulani." Well, Riley Moore's visit to Benue IDP camps brings renewed international attention to the humanitarian crisis in the state, the characterization of the violence as genocidal, and the emphasis on religious targeting may very well increase pressure on the U.S. government to make a stronger stance on Nigeria's security challenges, particularly regarding religious freedom concerns. And of course, the U.S. House of Appropriation responded to Riley Moore's post on X, and they wrote, "America will not look away as innocent lives are stolen," directed by the President of the United States. Appropriators led an on-the-ground mission to inform a report on Christian persecution in Nigeria and guide policy recommendation. Religious freedom and atrocity response are central to our NSRP bill. And I'll take a reaction from a Nigerian user on X. He wrote, "I have to say, I'm genuinely surprised at the amount of effort the U.S. is putting into these congressional hearings. A big delegation in Nigeria going around the country and talking to actual people. Nigerian leaders don't even care that much about this stuff. Very weird and interesting." Ayo, meanwhile, last week, former Niger Delta militant leader Asari Dokubo berated Reverend Ezekiel Dachomo, the chairman of the Church of Christ in Nations in Plateau State, who has been outspoken about the severity of the Christian genocide in Nigeria. Well, in the video that made the rounds on social media, Asari Dokubo warned Dachomo to stop spewing the genocide narrative in Nigeria, describing Dachomo as a fake pastor and a pathetic, pathological liar. Let's take a look.
Dachomo, if I place curse on you, you will not last 24 hours. While lie be Isn't you will not last 24 hours because you are a fake and you are a liar. There's hardly any crisis in the north that is rooted in religion.
Hey, pig.
So the Hausa people, farmers that are being killed in Sokoto and in Kebbi by the so-called bandits or whatever they are called. Why are they killing them?
You know, one beautiful thing is that, you know, as Dachomo is, the eyes of Donald Trump is on him. Dachomo, that man, they think that the way that man is always speaking, every video that man does, Donald Trump is seeing it. Every video that man does. That's why this pig is only insulting him and saying he can lay a curse. The only thing you can do is just to talk. You can't touch Dachomo. You see Ezekiel Dachomo? He himself single-handedly has evidence on his own of the genocide. He has evidence of the genocide. So all these curse you are laying, you're just a pig in the creek. That's what you do. They give you money, you just make noise up and down like a pig in the creek. Everything that Dachomo is saying, he has evidence to them. So you can only lay a curse, you know, but your curse will even backfire on you. That's why you cannot walk. You are sitting like a pig where you are. You can't walk, you can't talk. You can only make noise and shout like a pig. Listen to the pig.
All right. Asari Dokubo has spoken again. The last time he spoke, he said he was going to challenge the U.S. President Donald Trump if he were to bring boots on ground in Nigeria. Now he's here saying that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. I'll take this reaction before I come to you, Ayo. Meanwhile, terrorists holding the wife and daughter of murdered Anglican priest Venerable Edwin Archie has released disturbing photographs showing a machine gun pointed at the captives. The images were shared on the late priest's hijacked Facebook account. Venerable Archie was kidnapped alongside his wife, Sarah, and their daughter from their Kaduna residence on October 28th. Despite the family raising ransom funds, the priest was killed after nearly a month in captivity. The abductors have now hijacked his Facebook account to post new photos of his wife and daughter with weapons pointing at them. The Anglican Church has made repeated appeals for the immediate release of Sarah and her daughter. This case highlights escalating boldness of criminal gangs.
Now, you see, these are every of the evidence are all Christian. This man is a priest. The priest was murdered before the family, and they are still holding the family Christian. So, and the pig is making noise. Helen is saying, hope Donald Trump is seeing. Donald Trump is seeing the picture, everything. He's seen everything, of course, definitely. But you know, if Donald Trump mentioned anything about the pig, now don't you know that the pig will see it as a victory, that Donald Trump have identified him. But he sees significant, so that's why Donald Trump will not even need to mention the case of that idiot. You understand? But everything happening is pointing to the evidence of Christian genocide. This man is a priest. The ransom was paid, yet they murdered him. They are still holding the wife and the daughter, and they are making it open. Tinubu, that knows how to talk to terrorists, to release 38 people, release 100 people. Why have they not made the call to release this woman and the daughter? Let's hear what Abati and the rest of them will say.
Who now use social media to taunt families, even hijacking victims' accounts to share distressing images while continuing to hold them captive. This is the new trend we are seeing right now on social media, Ayo. We saw the story of Venerable Archie who died. We mourned him right here on the table. And now these terrorists have released this footage.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if I should blame the terrorists for their brazenness. When we have reports of rescue operations without any single arrest, then you can understand why we can see them become bolder, and even the things that they did not have or dare do would come on board and do this. And it's quite sad to see the effects of banditry, terrorism on lives and families. Since October 28th, this family have been in captivity. We talked about the head.
Now, I love the fact that Arise News keep repeating the fact that we have seen the release of people without any terrorists being arrested or being judged. We have seen 38 people released. We see 100 people released. No single terrorist had. But there was conversation that released those people. There was whatever thing you did that released those people. But terrorists were not brought to book. So it's now emboldening the terrorists to continue. So tell me why Donald Trump should not come and come quickly with gun blazing. Tell me why. Just tell me why. I want this lady to repeat that statement again.
Terrorists have released this footage.
Yeah. I think, I don't know if I should blame the terrorists for their brazenness. When we have reports of rescue operations without any single arrest, then you can understand why we can see them become bolder, and even the things that they did not have or dare do would come on board and do this. And it's quite sad to see the effects of banditry, terrorism on lives and families. Since October 28th, this family have been in captivity. We talked about their father and husband being killed and how unfortunately terrible that was. But again, this is perhaps a wake-up call again and again to appropriate authorities to act on this. We don't want, yes, we love the rescues. We are grateful that rescues are happening. But beyond that, these perpetrators must be caught and brought to book. If not, they will continue to not just act in their in this manner, but also be very bold about it and almost a slap on the face of the government by these kind of videos that they do. The other part of it is also access to social media. We often talk about how everybody now has access to social media. They can talk, and that's why I don't blame Asari Dokubo as well. He has a device. He can come out and make statements that are not founded on truth or fact and just sit down and say things. I don't think we should pay much attention to him because he does not have any bona fide to speak on this matter. He's not from the area. He hasn't spoken to any people from the area. I wonder what his response to Congressman Riley would be, because you can bully the people in your country. And I think it's quite sad, because I've said it again and again, that the Nigerian people, the Nigerian National Assembly, whether it's the House of Representatives or the Senate, ought to be taking the lead on this. Correct. They should be the ones going on fact-finding mission and going to the IDP camps, giving us. But I'm grateful that we had Honorable Ugo just a few minutes ago on the show, and at least someone from that region, Benue State, and he was speaking and he affirmed the fact that his people are being killed. These are the people that are being affected. And I've said it again, you cannot sit back in another region without any demonstrated efforts to speak to those who are affected and say, no, it's not happening, and turn a blind eye to it. We have said enough with the blame. We understand the issues. We've identified the issues. Can we now act on it? Right. The most important thing that can come out of this that has happened in the last few months is to see justice for the people who have continuously, without any support or help or response from previous administrations and governments, been killed and been forced away from their ancestral homes. Right. That's what we want to see. We want to see seriousness with regards to fighting against terrorism and bandits and those who are deliberately killing a particular group of people in Benue State, in Plateau State. That's the call we're making for today. Right. And to even say that, according to Riley Moore, 600,000 people IDP camp, Christians, sorry. According to Honorable Ugo, there are more. They're up to, according to the government, it's about 1 million. Yeah. And these people have been left unheard, unattended to for so long, and it took an American fact-finding mission to tell us what is obvious to us, what the Nigerian government understands is a problem. That, for me, is one of the biggest problems. We must act, and we must see a solution to this problem once and for all.
Well
That's
said,
what we want.
I like the fact that you were able to tie in the fact that people have to be on ground before they make comments, like, you know, Asari Dokubo did.
Oh, well, that's it. That's it. I thought the Ape Face was just sitting down there. I was really interested in hearing Ape Face Abati make his own comments, but maybe we need to go and look for the full. We need to go and look for the full interview so that I'll hear what Ape Face Abati had to say in that particular interview or in that particular presentation. Yeah. So you seen it. Now, for you to also know, there is an exposition from this former general. Let me show you. There's an exposition from this former general that this man, that Yoruba man that was the head of the army, that he was actually assassinated. The chief of army staff, Atahiru. Atahiru is not Yoruba man. Atahiru, yeah, he was the former chief of army staff. Nigeria chief of army staff, Atahiru, was assassinated in May 2021. Plane explosion. It was an assassination. Do you remember that plane explosion that took the life of the chief of army staff, Atahiru? Atahiru was ready to fight those terrorists. Atahiru was going after them. Atahiru had a plan. He had a strategy on how to nip them and take them all out. But they took his life. They unalived him. It was an assassination, according to this man that is now talking. This man in the picture here is now talking. Let me see if I can open this news so that maybe we should read it. Maybe we can read it. Let me see. Okay, let's see. A lot is happening. I'm telling you, the zoo will not survive what is coming. They won't survive it. The zoo won't survive it. The amount of exposition that is happening, they will not survive it. That lie, they won't. They won't. Now let's see this. Are you guys seeing it? Is it open? Okay, let me bring it here. Okay. Nigerian Chief of Army Staff Atahiru was assassinated in May 2021. Plane explosion. Not an accident. It was not an accident. Retired general alleges. This man will finish them very soon. This is the man that exposed Malami. It is this man that exposed Malami. It is this man that exposed who else again did he expose? Malami and the other one, the top people. And the former Chief of Army Staff too, Brutai. It is this man that exposed two of them. That said that they have ties with Boko Haram. Is this man that exposed them? Okay, so let's see what he had to say about this one. He said his name is Ali Kafi. On the 10th, this thing was done. This expose was done yesterday. Ali Kafi, who once served as general officer commanding GOC 1st Division and headed the covert operation service-wide, alleged that Atahiru's death occurred against a backdrop of internal hostility. Now, to think of it, do you guys know that the recent army general that was murdered by Boko Haram, at Mba, do you know that the army have not done anything about it? Do you know that Tinubu have not done anything about it? Do you know that the message is sent and all those, secret messages is sent for his location? Do you know there is no forensic research that have been made to find out where the leak happened? How did the message is sent to his own battalion? How did it get into the hands of Boko Haram? How did it get into the hands of Boko Haram? Yes. Helen said they are all speaking out now because they know Donald Trump got their back. Yes. They know that Donald Trump got their back, so they are speaking out. The only thing that is giving Ezekiel that form of boldness is because Donald Trump have got his back. That's it. Okay. Now, let me continue. Atahiru's death occurred against a backdrop of internal hostility, operational sabotage, and high-level corruption within the military. A retired senior army general officer, Major General Danjuma Ali Kefi, has alleged that the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Ibrahim Atahiru, was deliberately eliminated and did not die in an ordinary plane crash, as officially stated. Ali Kafi, who once served as general officer commanding GOC 1 Division and headed the covert operation service-wide, alleged that Atahiru's death occurred against a backdrop of internal hostility, operational sabotage, and high-level corruption within the military. Lieutenant General Atahiru and 10 other military personnel died on May 21st, 2021, when an aircraft transporting them crashed near the runway of the Kaduna International Airport. The other victims were Brigadier General Mohammed Abdul Kader, Brigadier General Olatunji Olayinka, Brigadier General Abdurrahman Kuliya, Major Lawal Aliyu Hayat, Major Nura Hamza, Flight Lieutenant Alfred Ayodeji Olufade, Flight Lieutenant Taiwo Olufemi Asaniyi, Sergeant Umar Saidu, Sergeant Adeshino Isaiah, and aircraftman Oyedepo Matthew. Hey, Biafra among them. In his account, Ali Kafi said he had compelling reason to believe that the late COAS was targeted. According to Ali Kafi, his conversation with Atahiru began shortly after the later assumed office as Chief of Army Staff in early February 2021. He said the army chief confided in him about humiliating treatment he had received from a superior officer during the earlier years of Buhari administration when he served as a GOC 82 Division. Ali Kafi said Atahiru recounted how, as theater commander of Operation Lafia Dole, he was personally blamed for the loss of a Scorpion armored personnel carrier following an attack on a battalion, despite the battalion being several command levels below him. The APC was eventually recovered, but Atahiru interpreted the incident as part of a pattern of unjust targeting. He also recalled Atahiru's frustration after intelligence suggested Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shakau was hiding in Maiduguri. He recalled Atahiru's frustration. Hey, Atahiru was frustrated after he recalled the suggestion that Boko Haram leader Abubakar Shakau was hiding in Maiduguri. So Atahiru was not happy that Nigeria was hiding Boko Haram leader in Maiduguri. The chief of army staff informed a superior at army headquarters before acting, but said he received a surprise and incoherent response. When he informed them at the army headquarters, he received a surprise response. He received what? A surprise response. Shortly afterwards, army headquarters sent him a directive through unsecured channels to capture or eliminate Shekau. By the time troops arrived, Shekau had fled. They don't tell him make a run. By the time troops arrived, Shekau had fled, leading Atahiru to suspect he had been tipped off. Ali Kafi said General Atahiru also narrated how, as theater commander, he had intelligence report indicating that Shekau was hiding in a location in Maiduguri. Being conscious of the fact that the army headquarters had effectively hijacked control of Operation Lafia Dolo, he called a superior at army headquarters and informed him of the intel. He, Atahiru, said the reaction of the superior, as he could perceive from their WhatsApp audio conversation, was a shock and incoherence. He said the superior said he will call him back. To his surprise, a message was sent to him from army headquarters in clear, not through a secure means of communication, that Shekau had been located in Maiduguri and the TC was directed to capture or eliminate him. Unsurprisingly, Shekau fled the location before the troops arrived, which made Atahiru to suspect that Shekau was tipped off. I nonetheless faulted General Atahiru for not carrying out the raid before informing army headquarters. You see? So he faulted Atahiru. Why didn't you carry out the raid? Why did you have to inform army headquarters? I didn't mention that, though, to Atahiru. Perhaps Atahiru wanted to impress the army headquarters. Hence, the reason for alerting army headquarters first. In my fairly long stay in the military, I had long suspected that a great deal of operational plans and information were leaked from headquarters. The army headquarters was not an exception, he added. So you cannot see the reason why Mba was murdered like a chicken, because Mba was sending message to his men. He never knew that the message he was sending was landing in the phone or in the direct gadget of the terrorists, who now came to him even before any other person came. Allegation of sabotage, corruption, and terror financing. Ali Kafi further stated that Atahiru disclosed troubling intelligence about one of his sector commanders allegedly paying Boko Haram fighters to avoid attacks. Can you imagine? Can you imagine some of the secrets that Atahiru was exposing? No wonder they eliminated him. The retired military officer said the late Atahiru described the sector commander as the godson of a powerful superior. General Atahiru also told me that as TC, he once got into a report that one of his first sector commander, akin to GOC, was paying off the Boko Haram terrorists in order that they should not attack his location, he said. He also recalled that Atahiru was dramatically removed from Operation Lafia Dole, arrested and handcuffed and detained for weeks at the Special Investigation Bureau. Even Atahiru was also treated this way. Can you imagine? Hey, these people then get mind though. According to Ali Kefi, it was the same facility where he himself would later be detained for 64 days. According to him, Atahiru warned him to stay away from a particular retired senior officer whom he suspected of engaging in harmful or diabolical activities. He said Atahiru frequently referred to his figure as that man and seemed to speak with a sense of dread whenever the individual's name came up. Hey, General Atahiru once warned me to be wary of a certain superior officer, and I recall informing him, Atahiru, sometimes in late February 2021, that the superior, who had retired at the time, had invited me to visit his private home. He said, General Atahiru ordered me not to go, saying that the individual may harm me, as he believed that the fellow was into diabolical activities. I didn't go as ordered by the chief of by the COAS. I recall that whenever he mentioned a certain retired superior officer's military officer, his voice had an edge to it. He mostly referred to the fellow as that man and never mentioned him by name. While I wouldn't describe Atahiru's action in respect of the retired superior as being fearful of the chap, I could sense a sort of dread. Hey, at the time of his death, the COAS had reportedly ordered a forensic audit of funds and equipment in the army and was expected to act on the findings on May 24, 2021, 3 days after the fatal incident. Hey. Ali Kefi said he wonders what became of that audit report. The late General Atahiru, as I was made later understand. The late General Atahiru, as I was made to later understand, I believe something was missing here. I was made to later understand, had ordered an audit, forensic, of funds and equipment. Immediately, he assumed command of the Army General. They are repeating things here. Why? He was due to act on the report on May 24, 2021. He died in the suspicious plane mishap on May 2021, he said. So he planned to do something in his life on May 21st so that he would not be able to do that audit. Because if he did that audit, he would have exposed a lot. As head of OSW, he said his team discovered large sums of counter-terrorism funds being diverted into private pockets. He alleged that several of the terror financiers arrested were laundering money on behalf of senior military and government officials. At the OSW, we had observed massive amount of funds meant for the counter-terrorism campaign being diverted into private pockets. Some of the terrorism financiers that we arrested were laundering funds for some senior military and government officials that we suspected were illicit money, which was meant for counter-terrorism, he said. Terrorism thrives not only from funding received from external sources, but also when funds meant for counter-terrorism are misappropriated. The aircraft did not crash, it exploded. Ali Kefi insisted that the aircraft carrying Atahiru and the other officers did not crash, but exploded just above ground level as it attempted to land in Kaduna. According to him, the bodies of the victims were found flung far from the point of the explosion, and the injuries on some suggested the blast occurred inside the cabin. Hey, he cited the case of Major Nura Hamza, whose legs from the knee downward were blown off. Hey, and Brigadier General Kuliya, who also suffered severe limb injuries. It was an explosion. In contrast, the pilots' bodies reportedly showed no bones and remained strapped to their seats, something he attributed to the armor door separating the cockpit from the cabin. There was a bomb inside the cabin. There was a bomb. There was a bomb inside the plane that exploded. Ali Kefi said he personally stayed with the corpses at the 44 Nigeria Army Reference Hospital, Kaduna, until 2 a.m. on May 21, observing their injuries firsthand. So he himself saw it firsthand. Furthermore, the nature of the injuries on some of the victims indicated that something exploded close to them, he said. Additionally, the corpses of the two pilots were relatively intact, save for their faces, which were darkened. They, the pilots, were still strapped to their seats when we recovered their corpses. The apparent explanation for this was because of the armored or steel door between the cockpit and the cabin area. He argued that examining the aircraft black box and exhuming the bodies to test for explosive residue could help establish the true cause of the incident. Unreleased report. They did not release the brain box. You understand? Examine the aircraft black box. They didn't release the black box. Unreleased report. The retired general questioned why, more than 4 years after the air disaster, the full report of the National Air Accident Investigation Board had not been made public. Can you imagine? He said he believes only a preliminary report was issued and that crucial findings remain withheld. According to him, these unresolved issues, combined with Atahiru's conflict with powerful figures, his ongoing audit, and evidence of widespread financial leaks and the counter-terrorism system, support his belief that the late COAS did not die from an accident but was assassinated. In September 2021, the Accident Investigation Bureau submitted an interim report on the King Air 350 aircraft crash that claimed the lives of Lieutenant General Ibrahim Ataru and 10 others. However, details of the report have yet to be made public. This is Atahiru. You can see, if you can see the picture here, that is it. I don't know whether this thing can open. That's the man. Let me see. This is the man we're talking about here. I don't know if you guys remember him. That's the man. Terror sponsor behind air crash. Terror sponsors behind air crash that killed former Nigerian Chief of Army Staff Atahiru claimed retired General Ali Kefi. The same news. You understand? This one was okay. So this news has even come out since. Terror sponsors behind air crash that killed. So when he made this exposition on January 22, 2024, but now he's telling us that it was an assassination. But here he said it was a terror sponsor. You understand me? So the truth is coming out, and eventually the whole truth will come out, and then Nigeria will pack up and onye ọbụla alarie. Nigeria will pack up onye ọbụla emegene onye ọbụla alarie. You see, that's the man. They murdered him. Nigerian Army, Atahiru. May his soul rest in peace. So, what his sister is saying, he cannot hear me. But his sister, I think you are the only one that cannot hear me. Oh. I believe every other person can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Anyway, I'm even rounding up. What his sister, I think you should refresh your system. I didn't mute myself. My voice is still coming out. Somebody should make a comment if you can hear me. If you can hear me. Yeah, there is an interview I want us to play. Let us play the interview between Symphony and Aloy Ejimako. Okay, Helen, you can hear me, right? What is sister? Just refresh your system. Let's see this interview. Aloy Ejimako granted an interview. It's about 20-something minutes. So I want us to watch it. One minute. Okay. Where are we? Please don't go anywhere. Okay, somebody is hearing me louder. Okay, somebody's hearing me very well. So everybody's hearing me. So what is this? I do something. All right, let's go.
You know, at the beginning, you introduced me as the kind of advisor. Yes, I'm his advisor. I have also formed some friendship with him. I also see him as a brother, so I have a fraternal bond with him. But I'm not his counsel of record. I'm not his lawyer for now, and he doesn't have any lawyer for now. So how can he file an appeal before the Court of Appeal in Abuja that has exclusive jurisdiction over this case? How can he prosecute this appeal from 700 kilometers away in Sokoto himself?
All right, so much has happened between the last time you came and now, one of which was the conviction on November 20 of Nnamdi Kanu.
Yes.
And of course, there have been continuous debates since that, for and against, all manner of discussions and reviews of that particular judgment. So, do you think that judgment has affected people's confidence in the judiciary? And how would you describe what really transpired on that day of the judgment?
Well, even before the judgment, we have seen large segments of the populations of this country tending to lose faith in the judiciary. We have to believe in our institutions. As a nation, we have to believe in the constituted authorities. If we don't have faith in the institutions, then we might as well forget about building a nation. But this conviction, this very conviction of Nnamdi Kanu, and the sentence itself being so cruel and unusual, I think affected the judiciary in much negative and adverse way than any judgment or verdict that has come out of Nigerian judiciary in recent times. And when people say that they have lost faith in the judiciary due to one thing or one conviction or one judgment or the other, and they cite this one as an example, you have to exhibit an understanding of where they are coming from. I think they are saying that the judiciary itself is not even infallible. Even the Pope himself is not infallible. The judiciary can be hoodwinked by an attritional prosecution that may tilt the scale of justice in the wrong way. We have seen some questionable convictions or questionable verdicts. Nnamdi Kanu's own is not the first. If we pedal back to the 1960s, Obafemi Awolowo, Chief Obafemi Awolowo of blessed memory, was convicted of treason. You convict a man of treason, a man that bore no arms, a civilian. He was convicted in the 60s of treason and imprisoned. And a lot of people also had expressed loss of faith in the judiciary stemming from that very conviction. And that conviction convulsed the system. It convulsed Nigeria all the way to 1966 when it contributed to catalyzing the first coup that we had in this country. So society has to be very careful and circumspect in handling trials of this nature that have tendencies of having a more of political colorations than judicial colorations or legal colorations. I made it clear from the very beginning in 2021 when Nnamdi Kanu was renditioned, that that rendition itself demonstrated stark evidence of a high political interest in his case. And that was why when I was lead counsel between February 2024 and February 2025, I took very strong muscular steps to make sure that that trial did not happen unless certain issues were resolved. The first issue was the issue of his bail. The Supreme Court has criticized the revocation of his bail, and in fact, the Supreme Court went as far as stating that the revocation of Nnamdi Kanu's bail evidenced some partiality or raise questions about the impartiality of the judge who revoked the bail. So, pivoting on that, I wanted his bail to be restored as the first test of the impartiality of the judge, as the first test of the justice of the case, as the first demonstration of fair play by the court. It was a test, but the court refused, and that put some fear in me as to whether the institutional deck had been stacked against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The second one was my objections to his trial. As a lead counsel, I had objected to the authority of the court to try him. That the Supreme Court sent back his case to the High Court did not give a whole-scale authority or jurisdiction to the High Court to subject him to trial without objection. There were issues in his case that needed to be resolved first before he put him on trial. Issue of jurisdiction had to be resolved. So when he was denied, I went to Court of Appeal. So the case was pending on Court of Appeal, before the Court of Appeal, before we were debriefed by him, and Chief Kana Agabi was brought in, and that was how the trial commenced.
All right. From your own perspective, just like many other Nigerians, how did you see that particular judgment? Because a lot of persons felt, well, there were too many things underneath it.
Well, the judgment was without consideration of the objections he had raised. He may have been submerged in popular media, but you will recall that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had filed a preliminary objection to the jurisdiction of that court to subject him to trial based on repealed law. A lot of people don't understand the details regarding this repealed law. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was talking about repealed law, it doesn't mean that he's saying that the repealed law has repealed the offense, the alleged offense. No, a repealed law does not repeal a vested offense. That is why we do have savings or saving clauses in the law that repealed the old law. So section 97 and 98, particularly 98 of the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2022 repealed the Terrorism Prevention Amendment Act 2023. But it saved proceedings, liabilities, penalties, and before that law was repealed. When Nigeria migrated from the Armed Robbery and Firearms Decree that was enacted by the military, and which was known for doing summary trial of armed robbers and subjecting them to firing squad, either in their village or at the bar beach in Lagos, we didn't continue to operate under that old law after 1999 when the army left. We went back to the normal penal code or the criminal code that prosecuted armed robbers and never subjected them to firing squad anymore. Rather, if the occasion warranted, they will be put to death either by hanging or such. So that's the migration we do. And then we have the Criminal Procedure Code, which was repealed by the Administration of Criminal Justice Act in 2015. So from 2015, all cases undergoing or ongoing under the old code, the Criminal Procedure Code, migrated seamlessly to the Administration of Criminal Justice Act. So Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wasn't saying that the repealed my offense, because I saw some people, even some lawyers, making fun of that and taking issues with him. No, they are wrong. He's saying that his case should have been migrated into the current law. Unfortunately for him, the current law carries less stringent consequences for the offenses alleged against him. And you could hear the judge that they say, I should have imposed death penalty on you. Death penalty was required under the old law. The new law didn't require death penalty for the offenses he was convicted. So the judge was saying it was an act of mercy to impose life imprisonment on him. No, that is wrong, in my opinion. It wasn't. It comports. The new law has less stringent penalties. So the sentencing, at least, if the error was made in trying the case under the old law, or the judge felt justified in doing so under some authority of the Supreme Court or authority of statute, at least the sentencing requires that you migrate to the provisions of the new law, just like I have exemplified with armed robbers and the 1979 Constitution and the Criminal Procedure Code. So we repeal laws every day, and we don't keep doing things under those repealed laws. We do these things today under the current law. That was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's thesis, and I stand by him.
Why do you think the courts and the judge were probably not ready to look at migrate his case to the new law, and we are still fixated on the old law?
Well, the prosecution also was insisting on proceeding under the old law. I believe maybe the prosecution felt that it had some advantages. But you see, like I said before, nobody is infallible, including the judiciary. So the judge might have been misled. I am not attributing any mischief on his part, but nobody knows everything. You don't have knowledge of everything. Even judges who are supposed to be experts in the law may be misled, and that is why we have the Court of Appeal, and that is why I believe this is one of the major issues that shall be ventilated before the Court of Appeal.
If you're a producer who hates AI, this plugin might change your mind. This is Reimagining Co-Producer. You can take...
So far, any progress? How far have you people gone? You have 90 days to make that appeal.
Well, you know, at the beginning, you introduced me as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu advisor. Yes, I'm his advisor. I have also formed some friendship with him. I also see him as a brother, so I have a fraternal bond with him. But I'm not his counsel of record. I'm not his lawyer for now, and he doesn't have any lawyer for now. So how can he file an appeal before the Court of Appeal in Abuja that has exclusive jurisdiction over this case? How can he prosecute this appeal from 700 kilometers away in Sokoto himself? For now, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is convinced that he does not need a lawyer, and it is his constitutional right under Section 36 of the Constitution to feel that way. So if he says, I want to file my appeal myself, or at least initiate the appeal myself and look for a lawyer later, it is his right. So the state is supposed to accord him the opportunity to exercise that right, because that right is protected by the Constitution of Nigeria and is guaranteed. It's given to him as inviolable. It's fundamental. So taking him to Sokoto defeats that right. So I do believe that is why he brought a motion before the Federal High Court to ameliorate the situation, to issue an ameliorative order that could transfer him from Sokoto prison to a prison in the vicinity of Abuja that will put him within a fighting chance of initiating his appeal before the Court of Appeal here. I think that is something that is worthy of consideration.
But looking at the way things are now, not having a lawyer, has 90 days to push appeal 700 kilometers away from Abuja, where the Court of Appeal should do that. What are the implications? Looking at it critically, what are the implications both for him, both for the government? Can we say he's been given a fair deal in the light of...
No, he's not being given a fair deal, at least as of now. But you know, he has 90 days to appeal from November 28th, which will expire between the 17th and the 19th of February, I think, because they count it by the day. So for now, he's not getting a fair shake from the system. And the sooner he gets that fair shake, the better. You cannot, by the date of insisting in keeping him in Sokoto, for which you have not given any compelling reason. Sokoto is not more secure than any other state in the country. It's prone to Boko Haram and bandit attacks. There's no compelling reason offered by the government for taking him to Sokoto, except giving this impression that, you know, they wanted to yank him away from an area where he has a social safety net. I'm talking to you from Abuja here, so if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was here, I probably would be visiting him every day. And some of my colleagues, all of them are here in Abuja as well. His family members are here. His physicians, personal physicians, are here. So his social safety net is here in Abuja. So yanking him away from here defeats the Nelson Mandela rule. A lot of people don't know there's something that is called the Nelson Mandela rule on imprisonment of some people. And that rule requires that a convicted person be imprisoned in an area that will be as near as possible to his relatives, as near as possible to the source of his welfare, his family, his friends, his lawyers, and to any court before whom that very convict has a case or will potentially have a case. So that Nelson Mandela rule has been breached in this very instance. And it kind of gets you thinking whether Mazikano is being targeted unnecessarily and unfairly, or whether this comports with how our government of the day wants to do things.
Why is it that a lot of persons have thought that some of the issues these days you hear about political negotiations, we are going to, he's coming out pretty soon, and people are wondering why was all these insinuations and probably political consideration were not adduced or brought before the trial went this far. Now he's convicted. That's when everybody is talking about there will be a political solution. We are discussing with the president. How do you feel when you hear things like this?
Well, if you're familiar with my Twitter handle, I remember, you can recall around May, I believe this year, I made a tweet of a video done by Chief Raf Uwazwike. He had said almost the same thing, and he was calling on Ndibo to oppose the prosecution, that it was going one direction, that it was going to go to one direction. And I tweeted that video on my handle, and I got into trouble with the judge. The judge called me up in open court and, reprimanded me for posting the video. But that video reflected my personal fears, my inner fears as to the direction the trial was going, not actually the prosecution. My thing was about the prosecution, not about the trial, because I know about the rules of sua judice. So I wasn't directing anything against the judge. The judge was just there. They brought the case to him. He did not initiate the case. So every effort I made to prevent what happened, even when I was lead counsel, was geared towards stopping or halting the prosecution, including my media engagements. And I believe a few Igbos did likewise. I cannot deny that. I have to be here to acknowledge that Igbo actually tried. Our leaders tried. Some of the governors issued public statements calling for his release. A lot of political leaders from Igbo land did the same, and even from outside Igbo land. So that people are Igbos or Igbo leaders are calling for his pardon.
Please, I don't like it when you praise these governors. They didn't try anything. I don't know which of the governors called for his release. Soludo was busy saying that they should not even raise the issue up. Anyway, I have respect for you, Mazia Loy. Anyway, the governors didn't try anything. Honestly, they didn't try. They didn't try nothing. Nada. They didn't try. Please don't appreciate the governors, please. Don't.
Now, is only consistent with what they had done before. They had always exhibited this groundswell of support and fraternity with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which is very admirable. It showed some unity. But there is a certain reluctance, or, on the part of the federal government that demonstrates something we don't know. But if you want to know really what was leading to that reluctance, you have to go back to 2021. Someone said that they spent up to $10 million to rendition Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So to me, that demonstrates a high government national security interest in the matter that is not being made known to the public. But why should that high national security interest be there? Why should it be more directed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and less directed against the bandits and the terrorists up in northern Nigeria? These are questions that rock the conscience of people and should shock the conscience of humanity. The aggression, the prosecutorial aggression towards Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is very unprecedented. And I think it overwhelmed an entire race of Igbo people at home and in diaspora who made very spirited efforts, including I know about the Association of Igbo Military Veterans in the United States. I know about the ambassadors for self-determination and the Rising Sun. These are very prominent Igbo diaspora groups, and the World Igbo Congress, they did try. They made public statements. They came to Nigeria. They came into the courtroom. They showed fraternity and solidarity. And from home here, there was also a groundswell, monumental support and fraternity being exhibited, and muscular steps taken towards the executive branch. Abaribe and our senators visited Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in detention, and so did at least 2 governors, Soludo and Oti. They did. Do you understand? And our household rep, notably.
I don't like it when I don't like it when lawyer law is giving these governors kudos. When did Soludo visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? When? What are his antecedents after visiting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? When did Alex Oti visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Just yesterday. Just yesterday in Sokoto. Alex Oti visited Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Sokoto. Never in Abuja. Alex Oti did not visit Mazen Nnamdi Kanu in Abuja, but in Sokoto. Soludo visited Mazen Nnamdi Kanu years ago, more than 2 years, go to 3 years now. So why are you giving this? Why are you giving these governors kudos, especially Soludo? No, don't do this, please. You're going to get us angry. Please, I beg of you, don't do that.
Honorable Obiagocha and Ugo Ikenga Wochinyere. These things are in the public domain, but the federal government
The people you can appreciate is Agwacha, Ikenga Imo. Ikenga Imo have been consistently speaking up. You understand? But anyway, those things are not nonsense. What we bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu out is actually what we're going to be doing going forward. Please, 100 men, very, very important.
Not budge. So that kind of leads you to believe that this one is a special case to them, and it wasn't supposed to be so. But that is how it is.
The other day, the brother was in court to represent him on this issue of allowing him come close, like you said, so where he has the social safety net.
Let me mute. I think somebody is in my room. Let me see. Maybe what I'm saying, somebody might be sharing my views also. Engineer, what's the full name? Engineer Chukwubueze. Engineer Chukwubueze, please, you are in the room. Please, I don't know if you share my views or you have a different view. Engineer Chukwubueze, please, you have the mic.
Hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. No, unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, good evening.
Deo.
And good evening, all the web Biafrans. Yeah, I shared your view because I heard what Ejimako said, and where I didn't like is where you pointed out by praising that the governors and some of those idiots have tried and issue statement to release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. They have tried. They didn't try anything.
Yeah, I said they didn't try. I'm objecting that they tried. They didn't try at all. They didn't do anything.
They didn't do anything at all. Then they are the architects of what happens to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and that is their game.
Exactly.
All right. So that is that. But there is something sometimes I begin to imagine what is going on in Nigeria, that it may be devil, hardened their heart and their evil mind, as it hardened the Pharaoh on that of Pharaoh.
Exactly.
With all these things that is happening, is it not telling people that Nigerian government know what they are doing against Mazen Nnamdi Kanu? Yeah. Starting from the day one they kidnapped him, all this of court injunction and every other thing, all their games is so transparent that even a kid we notice what is going on. Yet, at this point in time, none of them is speaking out. None of them is speaking out what is going on. I'm so sorry for that Omoto show. He just picked one broadcast of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and uses to judge him. And did he listen from all the broadcasts of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu that what is going on in Nigeria now? This man said it 7 years back.
Yeah.
That is happening in Nigeria now. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu said it from A to Z, and all those prophecies have come to reality. Yet they forgot to understand this, and they forgot that what this government is doing is just to suppress Biafrans so that we will not hear anything concerning Biafra again. But they are doing a very big mistake. Nigerian government is digging their grave. What is coming to them, I don't understand that they are not seeing it. It will catch them on the point that they cannot escape it. I believe word of God, and I believe Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is one of the prophets I have seen live on my own time. Nothing will happen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu.
Yeah,
but
nothing.
The anger of God will soon visit. Anger of God will soon visit Nigeria. It is well. Thank you so much.
You see? Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and I share the same view with you 100%. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, they will. Yeah, that's very correct. The anger of God, I bet you with my 10 fingers and my 10 toes, the anger of God will visit Nigeria, and they have to harden their hearts because God have to visit them with his anger. That's exactly what's going to happen, and it must happen. It surely will happen.
Just the other day, the brother was in court to represent him on this issue of allowing him come close, like you said, so where he has the social safety net. Unfortunately, the court did not accept that fact that the brother should represent him, and he's far away. They can't guarantee him coming anytime he wants.
Yeah.
Where does he leave us?
Well, they did, and they asked him to bring a lawyer. And he went to the legal aid and secured one. So the hearing was eventually held on the 8th of December, and the matter was adjourned to 27 January. It was an ex parte application seeking transfer or order of court directing the federal government to transfer Mazen Nnamdi Kanu from Sokoto to a prison in the vicinity of Abuja. But the judge, in his wisdom, ruled that the prosecution and the prison authorities should be put on notice. And then the matter will be heard on 27th January 2026. That is where it stands right now.
So 27th, 27th, and Allah Ejimaka is not telling us 27th. Thank God he told us that the 90 days frame will be rounded up on the February 11th or 12th, isn't it? So 27th, when that is held on 27th, what will happen within the 2 weeks that they have? They will not have, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will not have 2 weeks. I've already said it on this program. So will that 2 weeks be enough for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to pull the weight of this appeal? Well, all I know is that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu must emerge victorious, and he must be freed unconditionally. I beg, I am sorry, would never come from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's mouth. Never. What his sister is here. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will never beg them. Never. They owe Mazen Nnamdi Kanu an apology, and they must release him unconditionally. What is sister? You're welcome.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you for all you do. God bless you. Thank you. At a point, I was not hearing. It's my stupid network. British is dead too. The way Nigeria is dying.
God will deal with them. God will deal with them. Don't worry. The coming of Biafra will be the end of Britain.
Yeah. I just want to support what that guy just said. That those governors, were they not the one that put ransom down? That Mazen Nnamdi Kanu can sign the ransom, that I put ransom on Wike's head or one of them head, that if we catch you, I will pay this ransom as well. You understand? So all of them put together, A to Z, they know what they are doing, including Tinubu before he entered power. He knows. All of them knows. Even the dead Buhari, They know what they are doing, including this Britain. Why did they send this boy ahead? What they call what is this former prime minister that we have here?
The shameless man,
Idiot. Boris Johnson.
Boris
Why
Johnson.
did they send him? Yes, because they know what they are doing, and they know that their end is here. That's why they send him there, to see that he can come and use his big tongue and big mouth, big head to come and speak, because the other one they speak so soft. So Nigerian people, they talk with violence. So you have violent speech. Go there, go and represent. They don't know that Nigeria is gone. Nigeria is gone. God has already visited. He's walking his way through. Before the Israelites walked to the Red Sea, for the Red Sea to depart, were you not seeing signs and wonder? That is what they are seeing now. It's already it's destroying. Nigeria is destroying.
Yes.
And I want people there, be careful. One of the pastors said, go and do plan B. You better do plan B and run away from that Nigeria now, because Nigeria will be no Nigeria anymore.
Those that want to travel, for Christmas, don't go anywhere. Stay wherever you are. Stay there and do Christmas.
Stay there.
You see, they have had a deal now with the airline company, because they know that people are now traveling by air. They have increased the flight from Abuja to East now 500,000, so that you will not be able to fly. You will take
to Warri is 400,000 from Lagos to Warri.
Thank you.
It's 30 minutes.
The flight of 30 minutes, so 400, 500,000.
400.
Because they want to kidnap people on the way.
Yes.
They want people to die on the way.
Yes.
That's why they have collided with all those airline companies, increase the flight. Fulani is the one doing all these things. They increase the flight. People will not travel on them. So that some of the rich people, their families, they will say, okay, maybe your uncle gave you 1 million to travel. You say, I'll make an enter road. You enter road and they will kidnap you.
To kidnap you. They will kidnap you. There's no two ways about it. Lagos, ordinary Lagos, Ibadan Express Road, they kidnap there. That open space, Lagos, Ibadan Express Road, before you enter Abeokuta, they kidnap in that area that they were just telling me. So there's nowhere that is safe in Nigeria anymore. Stay where you are, day your day. Make Nigeria day their day. Don't go there and say you want to go and do one thing there. It's not working, and it can never work. My pain is that the way they are doing this appeal right now, that is not having time to go there. With the time is still enough, because now they postpone it to on the 27th of January.
That's why I'm asking Aloy Ejimako. Aloy Ejimako by himself said that the only time they have is until February 12, I'll be February Kini. Now, Mazinam Kanu case has been adjourned to 27.
27. And that 27, you know what they will do? The judge will not come. They will say he's sick.
And that sickness that go fire.
They will say the judge is sick.
If that is his plan, if that is his plan, maybe before that day, if he die, another judge will come and take over.
Yes, so he go by, because that is what I feel they will do. They are just looking for because Tinubu must have spoken to them. All these governors in Biafra land, all of them, A to Z, not only Southeast, Biafra land, all of them, Calabar, Delta, all of them. They must have spoken, gang up together to say, we must not allow him. But God will disappoint them. And you know what? Donald Trump will disappoint them. He will disappoint them, because they might not even need all this appeal. They will just go down and pick him away.
Yes.
They will just go down and pick him away, my brother. You understand? So we pray. And like you said, the 100 men, I think it all the time now. Very, very important. Very important, our people. There is nothing you cannot do. Mandela was fighting, and he was still looking for money too. He was not just fighting with his mouth, going from one place to another. He was requesting for help. Nigeria helped Mandela. Other African countries helped Mandela. So there is nobody that will come to help us, Biafrans. Nobody. Whether we have divided or not, we are 80 million. 80. So please, you people should come and join these 100 men, so that we can do the needful. Can't you see everybody is sleeping in Biafra land?
Mm-hmm.
They are sleeping because the students, they cannot go to school. And that is what we are asking. It's not just talk. We must find a way to contribute, and contribute in the right direction, in the right source. Not the source that will take your money to go and do pana beating. Not the one that will take your money to go and be buying whistle. No. Use it. Bring your money and put it in the right source. Put it there. And you know where the right source is. That's all we will say. We have so many people in the studio now, my brother. Thank you. I'll be here
Thank
waiting
you
with
so
you.
much. Thank you, sister. Thank you, sister. So I'm about to even round up. Let me hear our brother again, Engineer Chukwubeze. Master Chukwubeze, please give me your another contribution. Unmute yourself. You are okay. Go ahead. No, you have muted yourself again. Okay, go ahead. Why are you muting your mic? Stop muting the mic. Touch the mic again, just once. Touch it once and leave it. Okay,
Okay.
it's okay now.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Sorry about that, my brother. Please, I just want to give my final verdict before you close. I really appreciate you, and I thank God for you, and I thank God for other Biafrans that are very ready and facing this war against Biafrans. I just want to use this opportunity to remind all Biafrans, all way Biafrans, listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast. Just take it as an assignment. Forget about browsing, going to media, Facebook. Take your time, listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu broadcast from the day one at this point. He told us that this time will come. And they remember all his broadcasts where he pleaded us that he will never disappoint us, but we will disappoint him. I want us to ponder these words in our hearts. Remember when he told us that he need 100 men, like as our sister said, this is the time he need that 100 men. We will not allow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have done his own part. The rest remain in our hands. And the most ones is in the hands of the Almighty Chukwokike. I want all the Biafrans to listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast from day one. Then after listening to it, you have one question to ask yourself. Are you going to allow that fire he put in our hands to die and quench? God forbid. I said, God forbid. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu will be out. The God of vengeance will fight for us. And I want you also to remember his words. He said that Biafran will come, but it will be the last miracle. That word is very deep. It will be the last miracle, and the Biafra will come. I will stop here. Thank you so much, Biafrans, and thank you so much, Pastor Van Van Van. Yagazera.
Ndewo. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. What is sister? If you have any closing remark, just give it so that we will leave the.
Thank you. I just want to say, people, to people, when they talk about Jesus Christ, most of us, we did not see Jesus Christ. He said, blessed are those that see it not, but believe. You understand? They did not, most of us did not see Jesus, but we are believing in Christ, right? Right now, you cannot believe in Onoyendu because he came in a human skin, just like Jesus. This man is a child of God. When I talk about him, sometimes it's just goose pimples all over me. This man is a child of God that came to prepare the way. Jesus said, I don't know the hour nor the time except my Father in heaven. Now this man has come and told you Biafra is the last miracle. Are you still doubting him? Are you doubting him? When Jesus Christ started, he was looking for disciples. He went and be calling them, follow me. You call how many? Follow me. He said, leave your father, your mother. And that is what Obatobie did. He called him. Some of them came on their own, just like the POS them that betrayed. Some of them came on their own. But he picked, he single-handedly picked Obatobie. And he picked one of his disciples too, Jesus Christ. He said, come, I will make you a fisher of men. Why can't you people get the sign that this man is a child of God that came in a human form? All what he has said has come to pass. God said, he said, heaven and earth shall pass away. He said, but what? His words. We accomplish what he has spoken it for. So please, Biafra, please, please, the only thing you can do is the 100 men. That's all we are calling for. The only thing you can do is the 100 men. Come and see the wonders. Come and support. That is the only way you can support Oyendu. That is the only way you support this man of God, this a son of God, not man of God. A son of God. That is the only way you will support. He has taught you. Don't come out again and be preaching. God will punish anybody that will think he will come out again. Is to come and be preaching and preaching and preaching. Come and support him now. Please, we beg you. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much, Worry Sister Ndewo. Thank you. So, Biafrans, you've heard it all. Please, let's keep the fire burning. If you are, touched and you know that we really need to do this needful, get in touch with me, call me or send me a message. I want to be among the 100 men. There are some of you that indicated interest the last time. I have not heard from you people. About two people made their indication on the comment section that they want to join the other day. I have not heard from you again. Just call me on this number, +39 35100 33521. Immediately after my program, you call me and then you give me your Telegram account. We'll add you to the group and then you will get updated, and then that's the way forward. We need to have our eyes on the ground everywhere. We need to have our eyes everywhere, both on the air and on the ground. The reason why Musa was crying those days, it has to come back. Musa needs to start crying again. Now, Musa is now the Minister of Defense. In fact, it will be better for him to cry as the Minister of Defense this time. So thank you very much, everyone. And may Chukwu Kabiama Primihenile bless you all. Ndewonu. Ebon.